Hey love bugs, how are you tonight? I come to you tonight with love in my heart, love for my people, love for you guys, and of course, love for finding my authentic self. Tonight, love bugs, we're gonna talk about finding and embracing your authentic true self after a breakup, and if you're a love addict, okay? Just being back in touch with yourself. Sometimes you forget. And so we're gonna talk about that tonight. Please get on Facebook or Instagram, X. I'm on Snapchat, and like me. And follow me on there, okay? I have some great content on those websites. I would love to see you there. Love bugs, I am not a licensed therapist, so if you or anyone you know is facing addiction, please reach out for some professional help. Okay, let's get right into it. Sometimes when you're in a relationship, you lose yourself. Not completely. And when you're out of that relationship, you want to know who you are, and you think you know who you are. But sometimes it doesn't happen, and you find yourself like, who the hell am I? And so tonight we're going to talk about reaching that place again so you can show up the best way that you can for yourself first and then for everybody else. Sometimes relationships end, and that's terrible, but you have to get back to your core. While you're in the relationship, love bugs, you have to be your authentic self. So we're going to go over some stuff tonight. I'm going to give you a couple books that I read that are wonderful. So listen in. Okay, here's a quote I found that I just adore. View your life with hindsight. Stop beating yourself up about things from your past. Instead of slapping your forehead and asking, what was I thinking? Breathe and ask yourself the kinder question, what was I learning? We might go through a lot of things, but it's always a learning experience, good or bad. Take something out of it, okay? When you try so hard to be someone you're not, you lose sight of yourself. You end up doing things to please other people, resulting in living by their expectations. In the end, you become what they want you to be, which can lead anyone down the wrong path to self-destruction. And for love addicts, love bugs, everything is so much more detrimental. There doesn't seem to be any gray area. It's just up or down, black or white. But we're here to recover, and we're here to say that, and I'm here to say that there is a gray area. And that area is not too much, not too little. All right, so make sure you're just being self-aware and realizing you don't have to make it a war, and you don't have to just not say anything. You just gotta have that balance, and we're working on that. Love yourself, forgive yourself, be true to yourself, embrace who you really are, and remember how you treat yourself sets the example for how others will treat you. We've talked about that too, love bugs. They will follow if you lead. If you can name just one thing that is holding you back from living a life you loved, what would it be? What's that one thing? What would it be that's holding you back from really shining, okay? Sometimes it's self-esteem, or sometimes you just feel like you're not really worthy, and that's not true. It takes a while to get back, especially after a breakup, but we're all worthy of love and respect. If you aren't true to yourself, you are doing the world a disservice. It is so easy to get swept up in trivial things and drift away towards a person who's the opposite of who we authentically are and what we are truly about. So many times we dress or act the part to get the part, and we wake up one day realizing that this wasn't the part for us to begin with. I can understand that. When you are not true to your core, you run the risk of coming across as phony or false, and we do not like those kind of people, love bugs, okay? We need to be real with ourselves first and then everybody else. For that reason, you are wise to embrace your uniqueness and be true to yourself and what you stand for and believe in. We are all created for a reason. If we aren't true to ourselves, we are doing the world a disservice, not to mention our families, our friends, our clients, our customers. What is authenticity? It is acting in a manner consistent with your beliefs. It is the quality of being genuine. Authenticity leads to trust, okay? People who come across as phony and false are viewed with skepticism and often are not generally liked or trusted. Not surprisingly, we avoid such people. We seek friends and colleagues and new business partners who are authentic. Nothing is more exhausting than trying to match the environment you're in. Talking to the right people, having the right friends, acceptance in the right social circles, working in the right profession, and saying the right things. This happens to many of us as we are maturing. Have you ever climbed the ladder to success, love bugs, only to realize that you are not in the right place? I know we all have done that before. We've got certificates or degrees, and at the end of it, we were like, whoa, I kind of don't even want to do this anymore. Okay, so we all fall into this trap, and we try to match our surroundings and be the person that others wanted us to be. And despite whatever you have achieved, whatever power you have amassed, or whatever knowledge and wisdom you possess, people want and need to be real. What I learned, love bugs, is that in relationships, they're built on credibility and trust stands on the test of time. Inauthentic relationships, on the other hand, are destined for failure. They crumble as soon as the going gets tough. Discovering your authentic self is one of the greatest gifts in life. It'll permit you to move through life with purpose and passion and appreciate those around you who are genuine and authentic. So how do you stay real? Let's not underestimate the influence of great, inspiring people in our lives. These influential mentors remind us of what makes us tick. Like my mom, she's my mentor. Why we exist, and they inspire us to keep climbing. They allow us to appreciate our unique abilities and guide us back to our core values when we stray. These precious friends do not want us to be molded or morphed into someone we're not, as they have, and at one point in their lives experienced the loss of self-worth, the tragedy that comes when one is not true to oneself, because you just hurt yourself and your friends in the end. Characteristics of authenticity. Okay, so let's go over some of those. Authentic leaders possess a number of common characteristics and demonstrate special qualities. The authentic you can grow by developing and following these some of these steps, love bugs. Okay, understanding your purpose, having an attitude of gratitude. I work on that every day. When I start to feel negative, I just think of things that I'm grateful for. And when you start practicing that, it becomes second nature and you won't be so negative. Leading with your heart, we talk about that all the time. Connect your relationships through emotional intelligence, demonstrating self-discipline, understanding purpose. My ex was really self-disciplined and I just admired him. He didn't really freak out too much and he made me calm. And so people will look up to you if you're calm and cool and collected. And I really admired that about him, that he was able to handle all kinds of stuff with a calm demeanor. And I probably inside he was tripping, but on the outside he stayed calm. So I really like that. And I hope you can be that kind of person. I'm striving to be that kind of person so that people can look up to me and know that I'm not going to freak out or not do anything at all. I'm just going to the right amount, the right temperature. Okay, there's an author named Simon Sinek, guys. I want you to check him out. He's a motivational speaker and marketing consultant. He's made foundation of his work the examination of why, the exploration of who we are and what inspires us to act. People will not always recall what you say, but they will remember how the authentic you made them feel. Purpose is the why behind your existence. It influences the authentic you, guides behavior, and creates meaning in our lives. Your why is ebbed in authentic you. Okay, there's another book. It's called When All You've Ever Wanted Isn't Enough. It's by a man named Harold Kusher, and he teaches us that our souls are hungry for meaning, for the sense that we have figured out how to live so that our lives matter, so that the world will be at least a little bit different for our having passed through it. So every time you make a presence known, you want it to be constructive and positive, okay? You want to leave people with that taste in their mouth, right? So let's just make sure we're doing that. So attitude of gratitude. Love bugs, what's that mean? It's having an attitude of gratitude. It means making a habit to express thankfulness and appreciation in all parts of our lives on a regular basis for both the big and the small stuff, all right? In another book called How Full Is Your Bucket? It's by author Tom Roth and Donald Clifton, PhD. It's the theory of the dipper and the bucket. You have an invisible bucket, love bugs, and it's constantly being emptied or filled, depending on what others say or do to you. When your bucket is full, you feel great. When your bucket is empty, you feel small and unimportant. You also have an invisible dipper. When you use the dipper to fill other people's buckets, to express gratitude, to stimulate positive emotions, you also fill your own bucket. So that's really cool to know that when we're loving each other and being cool and using our hearts, that also gives us some type of positive reaction. Leading with our hearts, love bugs. When you lead with your heart, others are sure to be touched. This is true. This quality has many positive outcomes in your personal and business lives because it shows how much you care. Despite whatever you have achieved, whatever power you have amassed, or whatever knowledge and wisdom you possess, people want and need for you to be real. Keep it real, love bugs. The best way to accomplish this is to blur the lines between professional, personal, and truly care about people, okay? When we lead with the heart, you become a better leader, a servant leader in our business world, in your personal world. And today we're moving and reacting to our environments far more quickly than ever before. This increase in speed is allowing for tremendous gains and many new opportunities. Would you agree, love bugs, that this speed also has created a workforce that is increasingly confused, though, disenfranchised, and out of touch with their own fundamental visions of the organizations they work for? What is mission critical in our businesses today is now perspective, that one is focused on the most basic and important of human values: passion, trust, empathy, forgiveness, understanding, and love. Lead with these values that come from the heart, not from a place of logic. Logic doesn't always win. You have to use these qualities. And when you fight these qualities, you tend to be a jerk because you know you're fighting that, okay? So connected relationships through emotional intelligence. A connected relationship happens when you take a genuine interest in the other person, like you're really paying attention. The connection grows even stronger when emotion is involved. An emotional connection is a bundle of subjective feelings that come together to create a bond between two people. It is a glue that holds relationships together. You may have a gift for creating emotionally charged and sexually charged relationships, i.e. love addict. From the get-go, for many it takes time and energy to create and maintain a connected relationship. The longer the relationship lasts, the more important it becomes to put extra work into staying and maintaining a connected relationship. The longer the relationship lasts, kind of wears off a little bit. So let me give you an example of bugs. It's like, I don't know, when the regular routine sets in, extra effort is required. It's kind of like a silver tea set. It's shiny only if you continue to polish it, right? If you don't, it becomes dull and loses that special shine. The authentic you demands emotional intelligence, EI. It is a key building block in developing your self-awareness and self-respect in the workplace and self-confidence. It is essential that you have both qualities, okay? EI is your ability to recognize how others feel to enhance the level of trust and discipline in you, okay? So you want to make sure you're just tuning in with yourself, making sure you're checking all your emotions, not running from them, love bugs, but just checking them and making sure they're in the right place at the right time. Living out the authentic you requires discipline, and it does. The ability to practice your values despite temptations to abandon them. Today's world is filled with glamour, glitz, and focus on material stuff, right? And for that reason, I suggest pursuing the following strategies. Okay, let's go over those. Self-reflection. The authentic you calls for constant self-reflection. This ability will put you in a state of perfect harmony, causing you to experience less anxiety as you're not worried about another person's view, only your own. I did some self-reflection a couple months ago and it was a really hard task. I feel if you're not ready for it, maybe give it time, spread it out. Maybe don't do it all at once. You just see a lot of things in yourself if you're really, truly, authentically honest about yourself that is not so appealing. So make sure you take the time to do that. Spread it out if you have to, love bugs, but you got to get it done, all right? It'll help a lot. Like he said, it'll cause harmony in your life, all right? Active listening. When you are authentic, you experience fewer emotional threats to your ego, which makes you a good listener. Because you are confident and comfortable in your own skin, your ability to focus on others is evident. So focus, love bugs. Success in business and at home requires you to resist impulses and focus on the projects through completion. So it helps you get through whatever you're starting, okay? And that's even in a love relationship. Whatever you promise each other, you want to make sure you feel that. Your ability to remember, your ability to embrace your authentic self enhances your ability to push aside distractions. Remember, guys, if we aren't true to ourselves, we're doing the world a disservice. Not to mention our families and our friends and our customers. So love bugs, keep it real, okay? Embrace your authentic self and don't be afraid of it. Just because you're out of a relationship or in a relationship, check in with yourself, do that self-reflection, and make sure you're making all the decisions throughout this week with your heart. Okay, love bugs, I'm so happy that you tuned in with me tonight. And until next time, I'm out.